Alright, so we gotta do a part two to this A00 because this is a lot of BS involved with this. Before I get involved with this article, we're just gonna go over a little history lesson so this makes sense. Alright, the term black. Most people don't even know, everyone's heard the term black people, but the majority of y'all don't even know what it means. You think it just means, it has nothing to do with the color of your skin. It does not mean dark skin. That's false. That's a myth. Black, all black means is it's a code word for secret, mysterious, or hidden. Just like operations, a black ops in the military, that's a black operation. It's a secretive, mysterious, hidden operation. Now, black people were also referred to as niggas, negroes, and niggers. All the same thing. Negro is Spanish for black. So black people are Negroes and Negroes are blacks. Black people are mysterious and they got shit hidden from them. Negroes are mysterious and got stuff hidden from them. So the second history lesson, and you guys should know this, but if you don't know it, I'm if you don't know this, you should just know this. Negro people were all around the world. All around the world. Now, there's two main groups of Negro people, ancient Negro people, that are important to this article. You got the pharaohs of Egypt, who were in Egypt, the ancient Egyptians, Negro people, black people. Then you had the Olmec people, who were in North America and South America. Now they only tell you that they was in South America, but that's BS. They was in North America as well. Those were also Negro black people. They were the same people as the pharaohs of Egypt. Same people. Now, the Olmec, now, the majority of African Americans are descendants of the Olmec people. Now, African Americans, their history is hidden from them, and it's the real history is hidden from them, and it's really sketchy, and it's also very secretive and mysterious. And poof, they was told that they just popped out the sky, landed on slave ships, landed in bondage in Jamestown, Virginia in 1619, and you guys came by way of slave ships, this, that, and the third, and it's just all sketch. So that right there is the black part. Your history is just hidden from you. But the reality of that is that those black people were already in America. We did not come on no slave ships. Some, and I mean some, like a very small amount, came on ships, but the majority was already here. Now, the pharaohs of Egypt, the descendants of the pharaohs of Egypt, long story short, not gonna get into details, but they fled into Western Africa. Like I said, a good amount of them fled into Nigeria. Nigeria just means nigger area, Negro area, but they didn't just all go to Nigeria. They went to West Africa. So now that you know that, but you should know that it's about to be 2020. We should all know that, but we just gonna get into this right here. In 2020, we found a branch on the human Y chromosome phylogenetic tree, haplogroup A00. That's far older than any other branch previously known, having its origin at the dawn of human species emergence. The only people on Earth it's known to exist among are a few African Americans and Cameroonians of certain ethnic groups. Alright, before I get into the BS of that, let's just clear this up too. The Negro people, which would be the people that were targeted as slaves, were all the same people. The slaves were all the same people, same bloodline. They wasn't just, it wasn't random selection. It wasn't like you picking Skittles out the Skittle bag and you just picking random colors. Nah, 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 nah. It was targeted, and they only selected the Negro people, the black people. Even the Negroes that came from Africa, they didn't pick the Africans, they picked Negroes. So we're gonna dig into this. It says the branch says A00 that's far older than any other branch previously known, having its origin at the dawn of the human species emergence. Okay, they're beating around the bush, and all that means is that the A00 lineage existed before the human species, not this dawn of the human species. No, 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 no. All that means is it was in existence before the human species. Now, part two. You mean it says the only people on earth it's known to exist among are a few African Americans and Cameroonians of certain ethnic groups. So you mean to tell me that out of all the African Americans, only some of them have it? That don't even make no sense. Now I just said, now African Americans are descendants of slaves. That's all African American means. Descendants of slaves. Descendants of Negro slaves. We're not even from Africa. So the African American is just a play on words. But that's irrelevant right now. So you mean to tell me that now I just said that the slaves were all the same people. They were all Negro bloodline. So you mean to tell me that only some of these people had this bloodline? No. Some people were not of this bloodline. This shit should be the other way around. Not only some people had this bloodline. No. Some of the African Americans did not have this bloodline. Now, if you're African American, there's a chance that your Y chromosome could come from an actual African, a non-Negro African in Africa. There's a chance of that. Because, like I said, Negroes were everywhere. So there's a chance that your Y DNA could come from an actual African. Alright, that's one possibility. And then there's another possibility that your Y chromosome could come from a European forefather. So that's another possibility. All right, so that bring it to like 30-40%. But the other African Americans is A00, and they not telling you because they're hiding this from you, and that's why you're labeled black, because this is hidden. This information is hidden from you, and that's why they're only saying only a few African Americans, because they don't want you to know that you're A00, because A00 is the oldest DNA. Now, the second part of BS is only certain ethnic groups of Cameroonians. Now, I also refer to that the Negroes from Egypt, ancient Nubians, they fled into West Africa, and a lot of them fled into Nigeria. Now, Cameroon is right next to Nigeria, so you're telling me that it's just a coincidence that the people that got this same bloodline as the African Americans are the same people that are right next to Nigeria? I'm not. I don't buy into coincidences. That's because these Cameroonians, these are Negroes in Cameroon. And we're just gonna, we ain't even gonna talk about it. I'm gonna just show y'all. Now, you're gonna tell me that these are the people that took the DNA test in Cameroon. They matched up. They trying to say that this DNA is only with some African Americans and only some Cameroon people. These are the same people as African Americans. They just live in Africa. But you're not gonna tell me that these look like American Negroes. Those are Negroes. There's no difference genetically between them and us. Those are the same people. You be the judge.